Welcome into the DLLS Mavs Emergency Podcast. I'm your man, Kevin Gray, alongside our DLLS Mavs beat writer, Ron Herrod Jr., and our DLLS Mavs analyst, Bobby Carella. The breaking news, Anthony Davis has sustained ligament damage in his left hand, according to Shams Charania and Tim MacMahon of ESPN. And depending on the second opinion that he will seek, and if surgery is required, Davis could miss a number of months. That is how we kick off, unfortunately, our emergency podcast. Anthony Davis left last night's game with about 2 minutes left after getting his hand caught in the jersey of Lauri Markkanen, and the Mavericks went on to lose that game. And now, gentlemen, we do have the news that Anthony Davis has sustained ligament damage in that left hand, and his season could be over with respect to the remainder of the 25-26 season. Bobby, I'll start with you. What you got?
Yeah, it's a huge bummer. It's a huge bummer. The way that he got injured was kind of like a 1 in a million thing. The problem is, obviously, it's like the 14th injury he suffered while being a Mav. He's been a Mav for less than a year. So it's another gut punch for him. It's another gut punch for the Mavs. And it is a big, giant roundhouse kick to the face for every single Mavs fan, because no matter where you stand, right, if you want the Mavs to keep AD and try and make a run at it, let's get Kyrie back on the floor and see if they can sneak in the play-in and fight their way into the playoffs, whatever. Well, that's probably not going to happen, and if you were hey, let's drum up a price for AD and trade him on up out of here, maybe get a pick, get a young guy, or maybe even two. Well, who knows if that happens now either. So the one group that it's a victory for is just like the pure, no frills, no asterisks, like Team Tank. Like it's a huge dub for Team Tank, but otherwise it just sucks. It absolutely sucks.
Ron, our national NBA insider, Mark Stein, adding the Mavericks will seek a hand specialist opinion on the extent of the damage to Anthony Davis's left hand, but league sources confirm this evening that their fears of ligament damage from the injury sustained in Utah appear to have been validated, as Davis is out for an unknown period. Your reaction?
I love basketball, so seeing, one of the top 75 players in NBA history go down, never fun. And then when our Mark Stein is, again, reporting hand specialist's opinion, it just is never good. I'm just going to be honest. Like, anytime it's like, oh, I'm going to Germany to see if they have this, or I'm going to look at this specific specialist on this specific ligament, it just is never good. Usually that's like hey, how do I come back as quick as possible? They clearly know it's something. It's going to be serious, even if quote unquote surgery is not needed, because I'm not sure he wants another surgery. Just not reporting that, just based on all the stuff he's had throughout his career. Usually these players kind of get tired of literally having surgeries. Why some players even retire a little early because of things like that. He's probably going to be out minimum a month, but just by the reporting that it looks like, even without surgery, that's probably on the best case scenario kind of thing. So it seems like the season might be over, because by the time he might maybe even be able to return, the Mavs might just be so far out of the picture that it's like, hey, let's just keep you on the sidelines for a little bit longer. Those kind of moments. But sadly, it kind of does seem like we will never see the Flagg, Kyrie, Davis kind of trio. I don't think it's going to happen. And I mean, we are talking about, I don't even want to bring up Derek Lively. Should we even depress Mavs fans even more? But will we ever see the four of them on the court? That just seems like a myth almost. Like one of those, you have you're by the campfire. Like, let me tell you what the Mavericks almost were. And it feels like that right now.
To your point about the surgery run, AD did not have a surgery on the adductor injury that he suffered in his first game as a Mav. He
Correct.
wanted to go through it and just kind of recover from it and just let, what will be, and, strengthen his body and round out his game or whatever over the summer. But right near the very end of last season, he took a wayward elbow to the face from his teammate, and that required surgery on his eye, which rendered him basically basketball immobile over the summer. And so he couldn't continue to work on his body. And then he immediately had the tendinopathy in his Achilles. Like, it's just been one snake bite after the next, man. It is a last season never ended. This is just a continuation of the 24-25 season.
Yeah. I mean, the pit in my stomach right now is keeping me from going just completely off, because you never want to be on the side of, we saw this coming. Yes, it was a freak accident, obviously, with the hand injury. But unfortunately, this player, throughout the entirety of his career, except for a couple of seasons here and there, has dealt with significant injuries and has not been available to be the kind of player year in and year out that is befitting of what he is as a top 75 player of all time, one of the best defensive players of his generation. And the former general manager who worked here looked at that player and said, you know what? That guy is going to take me to the promised land and take me to a championship, despite all the evidence to the contrary. And my immediate thought is, where would this franchise be if they did not win the lottery and get cooperflagg? Because all of this that has transpired, we're not even a year past the trade, and the worst trade in NBA history continues to look worse by the day. But beside all that, I feel terrible for Davis. Like, he has said all the right things, done all the right things, has tried to embrace being here in Dallas since the time of the trade, and has done everything in his power when he is on the floor to try to help this team win games. And his body, for whatever reason, just simply will not allow it. And that is very unfortunate, whether you look at it from the trade aspect, whether you want this team to make a run or whatever it be in the future. Unfortunately, his body just simply won't allow it. And that saddens me in a lot of ways, because he has done all the right things to ingratiate himself as being a member of this Mavericks team and a part of this community here in Dallas.
Yeah, absolutely. And first off, I just want to say both of y'all are lit beautifully. Like, I'm really admiring y'all shots. And compared to me, like it looks like I'm not being held hostage. I'm fine. I promise.
He's good.
Yeah, I just don't have a lot of overhead lighting in my apartment, but it is really important to point that out, man. Like, AD was put in an impossible situation less than a year ago. Absolutely impossible situation that he did not ask for. And probably if you would have hooked him up to a lie detector and said, do you even want this to happen? He probably would have said no. He probably would have said something a little more colorful than that. He gets hurt in his first game, fights back, dominates the Kings in the first playing game, scores 40, goes out on a shield in the next playing game, the only Mav to show up that night in Memphis. Has surgery on his eye, which we had people in our chat that said they either have had or know someone that's had a similar eye injury to the one that he suffered, a detached retina. And they were like, my doctor won't even let me play basketball anymore or like play sports at all. He's wearing goggles for the first time to try and get out there. He's gotten all sorts of weird bumps and bruises, tried to come back probably too soon from a calf injury, risking his Achilles because he wants to play. Like, I don't know. It's really, really hard to blame any of this on him. I know that it's a lot easier to say that dude is injury prone. He's a bum. Get him out of here. That's not how I feel at all. He's a great player. He's an absolutely great player. And by all accounts, he's a great dude. If he would have gotten to the Mavs under any other circumstance, I think everyone would be just devastated right now. But unfortunately, the reality is people are just over it, man. They want the Mavs to trade him. And I just don't know. I don't see how that's possible. Like, what would you guys do? What would you guys do if you're another team right now? Let's say you're the Hawks, you're the Raptors, teams that have aspirations. Basically any team other than the Kings and the Pelicans. Are you trading for him, knowing he might be out for the year? Like, does this change your opinion about him at all?
If I'm the Hawks or the Raptors, yeah, that's a done deal for me. Like, we'll talk in the summer. Because, as you said, there's no guarantee that he comes back this year. And the way that the initial reports have come out, it appears that he's done for the rest of the season. Like, ligament damage is if you're going to have surgery on ligament damage, you're not coming back for the rest of this season. So, yeah, if I'm Atlanta, if I'm Toronto, we appreciate the conversations. Unfortunately, this has changed our circumstances and how we feel about the player going forward, because the benefit of trading for Anthony Davis at the deadline would have been, especially if you're Atlanta or Toronto, obviously, let's try to make a run with him, get him in here, get him, acclimated to the situation so that we can make a run in what is appearing to be a wide open Eastern Conference at this point. You will not be able to do that, and it'll be very difficult for him to come in and be able to make a difference in that short time frame. The larger, I think, picture of all this is not just this year. This has real ramifications of his long-term future potentially here in Dallas. He is in the middle. He started, I should say, a 3-year, $175 million contract extension this year. Obviously, the rest of this year appears to be in doubt. Next year, he will be getting close to $60 million, and in the final year, which is a player option, it'll be over 60. It'll be $63 million. And he has wanted a contract extension. He has wanted to, whether it's here or Dallas, he's wanted to get a contract extension. If you're Dallas, there is no way in hell that you're going to be signing up for any type of contract extension for Anthony Davis, even prior to this maybe, but definitely not now because of the uncertainty of what his long-term future looks like here.
I mean, I guess just to be the different person, but I also think this is a take that GM would talk to the other front office people about, is they can get the Atlanta Hawks getting Anthony Davis now for absolutely nothing. Is in next season, because the Atlanta Hawks are not winning the NBA championship this season. Breaking news. They're not even going to probably advance the second round this year. Breaking news. With everything they're doing, including when they traded Trae Young, is for next season and the future of the Atlanta Hawks. If their goal was, we love Anthony Davis, we want him on the team, you can essentially get him the way they got Porzingis, which is a salary dump. Like, you would have to give up no assets. You'd only have to give up player that you don't even expect to be on the roster next year, regardless. So if they just happen to just want him, it takes nothing now. A pick is absolutely out of the question. That just won't be happening. Even in the summer now, I think it's even less likely he has him the rest of the season. I guess you can never say never in the summertime. More teams think they can win the championship. There's more money, et cetera, more picks available because it's a new season. But I just, if a team wants to do something like that, I can see that being a possibility. But at this point, Anthony Davis, I know this is before my time, but he's one of my favorite players of all time, and that's Grant Hill. And when Grant Hill went to the Orlando Magic, it was supposed to be this big, grand thing, him and Tracy McGrady, and then essentially he never really got a chance to play games with the Orlando Magic. It was supposed to be this huge duo. It was going to be real fun, but because of injuries, it never was able to happen. Doesn't mean Grant Hill isn't a great all-time player, but like literally his career just in Orlando could never really get going because there just was little injury after little injury, then to major injury after major injury, where he could not play and really couldn't get right into even kind of another team later in his career. And that's after a role change, was no longer really a starting kind of caliber player. This kind of Anthony Davis's career in Dallas is kind of starting to feel like Grant Hill's in Orlando. And I know that's a sad thing, for Mavs fans to hear, but that's just kind of the parallel that I'm starting to see.
I don't think, well, I agree with you that I think other teams would say, all right, we're not giving you a pick. Or like if I'm the Hawks, yeah, we're not giving you Risacher. All right, you can have the 24th pick in the draft. We're not giving you the guy we took number 1 a couple years ago that is barely even in the rotation. He plays 24 minutes a game, and they already don't want to trade him for AD. If I'm the Mavs, I'm not just moving AD for air at this point, because again, if his money disappears from your payroll into the summer, you can still only sign a guy to the mid-level exception. You would have no cap space. It's a really expensive roster. What I would do now in the wake of this injury, assuming that he's going to be out, let's be honest, maybe for the year, or at least until March, probably based on the kind of the cloudy nature of the reporting. Daniel Gafford, Klay Thompson, Najee Marshall, basically anybody on this team that's not named Coop or Kyrie or, in my opinion, Max Christie, like,
you're available.
Get on out of here. Everyone call us, because those guys aren't injury prone. Those guys are good. They're on multi-year contracts. Many of them are pretty cost controlled. Let's go. I mean, the season's over. Like, Tanner makes the graphic all the time. He constantly updates the Mavs record with AD. Pretty good. a pretty good record. I mean, they win more than half the time. Mavs record without AD, pretty bad. It's a pretty awful record. They win like 25, 30% of the time. The Mavs season is over at this point if he's out. You know, even if he comes back in a month, like they're going to lose almost every game between now and then. So get busy, get active, make some phone calls.
Yeah, like Najee Marshall's on a fantastic contract. As much as I would hate to lose the knife, we were a pro knife show and podcast here at DLLS Mavs. As much as I would hate to lose Najee could net you a nice return. He's got a great contract, good player. Daniel Gafford, we've talked about for months. The $18 million that he's making on that contract that he has. Indiana, somebody can come get him, and he can help a contender potentially. They've got to do right by Klay Thompson. I don't know who was going to take that $17 million. I don't know who that team is, but they need to do right by Klay Thompson if they can find him a contender home who's willing to take on, you know, that $17 million. That's a tough contract to move, given the stage of his career where he's at. I don't know how in the hell they moved D'Angelo Russell. That cat can't even see the floor at all these days. Like he's DNP CD low all day, every day now at this rate. So I don't know what you do with him. Caleb Martin. I don't know, but you cannot
he'll be a Dallas Maverick. Caleb Martin will be a Dallas Maverick.
Well, the point I'm getting to is that you can't be bad and expensive in today's NBA. Like you can't be that. And that's what they are at this particular rate. And with Anthony Davis going down, yeah. By the way, over 600 of you watching us live here. Please give it a like while you're here as well here at DLLS Sports as we move toward 40,000 subscribers here at DLLS Sports. Let's get to some of your super chats. JK THESN 86. I'm sorry, y'all's job keeps getting worse. Tank time with the $1.99 super chat.
It crystallizes the vision. I mean, we should do. I'll fire up Tankathon here. We can do a spin for old time's sake. I mean,
yeah, why not? It was easier to do nothing, but we do everything every day to try to help you out here. Andrew with the $1.99 super chat. Imagine where the future would be without Cooper Flagg. Yeah,
the shadow realm.
Yeah,
I'll let you know, Andrew. The shadow realm. It'd be very dark and ugly.
Said it at the top of the emergency pod. I don't know where this franchise would be if they didn't get the #1 pick, Cooper Flagg. Classic Stain Lover, shout out to you with the $1.99 super chat. Did I jinx him on yesterday's pregame? You've been doing a lot of that. Actually.
No jinxing. No, Ron already took a giant dump on him yesterday, calling him old.
No. That's all right. We love Classic Stain.
Classic, we love you.
That's
Classic Stain Lover is vindicated, and as are many other Mavs fans. I mean, that's the crummy thing about it, dude. You're always afraid he's going to get hurt. You're afraid any player is going to get hurt, but especially a guy like AD.
Yeah, and then, unfortunately, I used the analogy, a couple of weeks ago when it came to Anthony Davis that, he's going to be 33 in March. This is a car that has been used a lot, and the older it gets, the more broken down it gets, and the more you try to put into it to try to fix it, the more costly it becomes, and at some point, you move on from it. The Mavericks are not going to be able to move on from this anytime soon because, unfortunately, he was a ticking time bomb with injury, whether by fluke or by simply his body breaking down. And here we are. So it is what it is at this particular point. We got another super chat, I believe, that just came in as well. We'll get to that here in just a second.
Just $1.99. Hey, thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Real quick, what does this mean for Kyrie Irving for the rest of the season? Would you bring him back this season to play, or would you let him just go ahead and sit the entirety of the 25-26 season knowing what you know now? Because let's just go with the idea that Anthony Davis is in fact done for the rest of the year, which I imagine he probably will be if he's going to have surgery on this hand. Would you bring Kyrie Irving back for this season?
I wouldn't want to. It seems like Kyrie wants to play, though. I mean, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a really tough situation.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think he probably is gonna do this anyway, but he probably shouldn't play any back-to-backs, like just for the rest of the season. If anything ever comes up, it's just very cautious on his body and his season. You want to make sure he's good for next year, but at the same time, you don't want just like Coop to like completely drown. So you do Again, I bring up the Cade Cunningham example all the time, where he was just in Detroit drowning for years. They say, we're not going to give you any shooting, anything just to make your job easier. And he drowned for years. And then they finally got him a real team with Malik Beasley last year. Then you're like, oh, Cade Cunningham's this real all NBA caliber player because he wasn't drowning anymore. So you don't want just Coop just to drown in the deep end. Kyrie Irving has to take some of those shots. I'm not saying it has to be every game, and Coop probably won't play every game for the rest of the season. But overall, Kyrie has to play some probably so Coop doesn't just completely fall off the cliff.
Honestly, I don't worry about Cooper Flagg drowning, to be honest with you. I think he'll be just fine. Like, I felt like this was going to be a gap year anyway without Kyrie Irving, even if you had Anthony Davis be able to play, in a decent number of games. This is all about the development of Cooper Flagg and how much better he gets night in and night out. I personally don't see the reason why you bring Kyrie Irving back to this situation this year. Let him get fully healthy going into the 26-27 season, and allow him the opportunity to get back to full strength without the worry of playing games. Because you mentioned it, he's not probably going to play on back-to-backs if he does play this season, and you would be bringing him back with basically a month left in the regular season. And based on where you are, it sounds cold, but I can't do anything to jeopardize potential draft positioning. I mean, they're probably going to lose enough games with him if he played anyway, to remain somewhere close to the lottery, but I can't risk any potential, wins at this rate, to jeopardize what could be a top 4 or potentially top 3 at this rate, depending on how the other teams at the bottom of the West finish. So
well, do you want
I hate that
one?
for Kyrie. So, I'm sorry.
Do you want to do one?
Yeah, we're gonna take a spin around here. Just like I was gonna say, like if you're right, Bobby, if Kyrie wants to play, I would imagine he wants to get out there and play just to be out there with his guys. But based off of where this franchise is at this point, it doesn't seem like for the long-term future, or I should say the short-term future relative to the draft and the draft lottery, that he needs to play games. With that, let's bring up the Tankathon.
All right. I'm going to try something that's never been tried before.
All right.
Sharing my screen on a Zoom call.
Make sure those tabs are closed, buddy.
This? Do you see
Can't
stuff?
see it. No, we don't see it yet.
Really?
No, I don't see it.
Oh. All right. Well,
Tanner says he's going to add it. He says he can add it. But
it gave me the option to share my screen.
It lied.
Well, it must have lied to you because, I can't.
Darn.
You can't see anything. Just that. We'll see if we can get it.
Well, I had it pulled up and it looked great for me.
Let's get to this super chat though. Nick with the $2 super chat. What are some realistic returns for Najee and Gaff? Oh, nobody wants to take a spot at that one.
For Gaff,
Wait,
I mean,
first.
it depends. I guess if he's being showcased, then not showcased, but like if he's getting all the big touches instead of AD, he can put up more respectable numbers than what he's been putting up lately, possibly. But at this point, if I was the Mavs, I would take Caperly for Gaff. For Najee, I would want probably like a mid to low end first round pick.
Okay.
Or a young guy.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I think you get something more for Gaff, but we'll see.
All right, so we're just straight up displaying ads right now. Apologies to everybody. Is this this is me, right? Do you see me moving around?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
It's either you or Tanner. It's one of the two of you.
All right, no, it's me, baby. It's me.
Okay. All right.
Capital One. All right. As you can see, the Mavs are 9th. They have a 20.3% chance at the top 4 and a 4.5% chance at the number 1 overall pick.
Dun, dun, dun,
Ready?
dun, 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 dun,
Count me down,
dun,
KG.
dun, dun,
2,
dun.
1.
Come on, baby. Come on. Yes!
Oh, okay, top 3.
Number
They
3.
They did it.
It's not a
They
bad
did it.
day.
The irony of the New Orleans Pelicans being number 1 after they announced today that they're going to keep together their lottery team for the rest of the season. God bless them. They get the number 1 pick, which goes to Atlanta, actually. Because, of course, Atlanta holds that pick. And
Debanza, come on down.
That's
I mean,
Boozer,
right,
come
dude.
on down.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. So does that soften the blow at all?
To some,
I mean, the goal, unfortunately, and I hate tanking. I hate it. It's abhorrent to me. But in this situation, I mean, if you can tell me that by the time we get to the draft lottery that the Mavericks are top 3, which means I get my choice of DeBanza, Peterson, or Boozer, yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. Why not? And that could make the blow of moving on from Anthony Davis this summer that much easier. Because I saw someone in the chat saying, "Oh, this is great. You get to potentially have a top 5 pick. You get AD coming back next year, Kyrie coming back next year." Anthony Davis for me is not going to be on this roster at the beginning of the 26-27 season. I can't do it. Like, the business of being in it with Anthony Davis from an injury standpoint as he gets older and more expensive and more injury prone as his body's breaking down. No, I'm sorry. That's not a vision, Nico or Patrick Dumont, that needs to be seen. I don't need it. And Anthony Davis can go help a contender in the Eastern Conference somewhere else if they decide to move. And so, yeah, I'm not in the business of trying to see what that looks like at 26-27 because they tried to see what it could look like in 25-26 by trying to hold out some hope that Kyrie could come back to play alongside Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg. Not happening. Merrick with the PLN 25 super chat. Thank you. Glad that we can tank in peace right now and enjoy Hooper Flagg. Best regards from Poland. You guys are great, and the Mavs will rise again. Shout out to Poland. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. My dad's grandmother's side of the family is from Poland. So shout out.
Oh, nice.
That in part explains,
Polish Bobby.
We may get joined by our National NBA insider Mark Stein here momentarily. We'll see if we can make that happen. We'll see. Tanner's efforting, as Stein would say, to make that happen. Charlied 1900 with the 499 super chat. Am I the only one who doesn't mind a Kyrie, Christie, DeBanza, Flagg, AD lineup with draft capital from PJ and Gaffron trade AD next year? Again, I personally cannot sign up anymore for the Anthony Davis business. I've been 100% clear on that.
KD is so upset.
No, it's not. I'm not upset.
His name. Anthony Davis is like Voldemort to KG.
No. Look, it is what it is for me. It is what it is for me. This is a player who will continuously break down. Like the shelf life of big men as they get older, not great, and he's going to be expensive. So that vision for me has sailed completely. So we will have our National NBA insider Mark Stein on our pregame show tomorrow. So make sure you tune in to our pregame show tomorrow. That'll be at 6:30 p.m. Right here on DLLS Sports. So we'll have Stein on tomorrow. Eddie with the $2 super chat. This is a very strong draft this year. Yeah, it's an incredible draft.
It is.
Yeah, it's an incredible draft this year.
We have coverage on the website. Read the word.
NBA has got to rig it to do the Mavs another solid. All right, it's not our fault. None of this is our fault. Adam Silver, you got to make it up to us, man. You put us in this position. You need to get us out of it. Adam
Silver would say I already did by giving you the number 1 pick from my former
you
my
did
alma mater.
Something, but not enough. You're going to lose more games this
I've
year
done enough solid
year,
for y'all already. I'm already done enough solid for the city of Dallas by giving you the number 1 guy out of my university. So
Charlie D, buzzer beater.
With the $1.99 super chat. Don't extend him and they will force a trade then.
Cool.
Yeah. That's cool. Rich Paul and AD can get to work on that.
Get more. You'll probably get more in the summer than what you would have got in the season anyway.
Rarities with the $2 super chat. Y'all keep coming in at the buzzer with him. So we'll trade Gaff and not have a Senate anymore. I don't want to hear Musa Cisse
basically
slander. I mean, I don't want to hear Musa Cisse slander. But yeah, you got to start recovering capital. Yeah, you got to start recovering capital. Daniel Gafford will net you something. So yeah, it's just
Plus, Kessler Edwards is still out there. All right, Mavs can go get a center.
And the white power ratio continues to be crazy. Like, what are we doing here? That'll do it for us here on the DLLS Mavs Emergency Podcast. The breaking news, literally and figuratively: Anthony Davis has ligament damage in his left hand. Appears to be out indefinitely. He will seek a second opinion to see if surgery is needed. That means he will not be playing in the game tomorrow, obviously, in what will be the showcase game against his hometown Chicago Bulls. And also, unfortunately, keeps the streak alive where he has not played more than 6 straight games. There it goes.
Never going to happen.
It hasn't happened, and it appears it will never happen. Thank you to all of you for joining us here on our DLLS Mavs Emergency Podcast. Again, we will be back tomorrow. Our pregame show will begin at 6:30 p.m. on DLLS Sports ahead of the Mavericks taking on the Chicago Bulls.
Watch along.
Yeah, we will have
Yikes.
a watch.
Yikes. Yes.
We will have that. Our National NBA Insider Mark Stein will join us for a special appearance on our pregame show, so you do not want to miss that tomorrow at 6:30. Appreciate our Tanner making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir. That is our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Curl, our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. My name is Kevin Gray. We are DLLS Mavs. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all be good. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.